He doesn't talk like a king. He doesn't dress like a billionaire. Yet every major AI company on Earth is quietly dependent on one thing he controls. While the world argues about artificial intelligence, Jensen Huang already owns the infrastructure that makes AI possible. NVIDIA is no longer a graphics company. It is the silent backbone of the AI era. And this raises a dangerous question. How did one immigrant engineer turn GPUs into the most powerful leverage in modern technology? To understand the future of AI, you must first understand Jensen Huang. Jensen Huang was not born into Silicon Valley. He was born in Taiwan and sent to the United States as a child, alone, unable to speak English fluently, placed in a boarding school meant for troubled youth. He cleaned toilets, worked night shifts, and while other kids were learning confidence, Jensen was learning survival. That experience burned a permanent lesson into his mindset. Nothing is guaranteed, and everything must be earned. Years later at Stanford, he didn't dream of fame. He studied electrical engineering with one obsession: building systems that could not be ignored. Not flashy products, but foundations that everyone depends on and no one can easily replace. In 1993, the tech world was obsessed with CPUs. Faster clocks and bigger processors were where power lived. Jensen Huang saw something different. He believed the future wouldn't be driven by one brain, but by thousands of small minds working in parallel. Graphics, visual computing, parallel processing. So he co-founded a company almost no one understood: NVIDIA. At first, it looked like a toy company making chips for video games. Wall Street laughed, and competitors dismissed it. But Jensen wasn't building for gamers. He was building a new way computers think. By the late 1990s, NVIDIA was dying. Two-chip designs failed. Millions of dollars were burned. Investors lost patience. Engineers were exhausted. And the company had only 30 days of cash left. Jensen Huang faced a brutal choice: save his ego or save the company. He walked into a room full of engineers and said the words no Silicon Valley CEO wanted to say: "We were wrong." NVIDIA would cancel everything and place one final bet on a single chip, knowing that if it failed, the company would disappear. The final chip had no room for error, and NVIDIA bet everything on it. Engineers slept in the office, knowing failure meant extinction. Then it worked. The chip didn't just perform better, it redefined graphics performance. Game developers noticed, the market responded, and NVIDIA survived. But Jensen didn't celebrate, because survival was never the goal. Control of the future was. He had already seen the next wave coming, understanding that GPUs weren't just for images, they were for computation. Hardware alone does not create power, ecosystems do. While competitors focused on faster chips, Jensen Huang made a quieter move. In 2006, NVIDIA released CUDA, not a chip, but a language, a platform, a way to program GPUs for general-purpose computing. Scientists loved it, researchers adopted it, universities taught it, and slowly the world rewired itself around NVIDIA. When deep learning exploded years later, there was no debate. AI didn't choose NVIDIA. AI had no alternative. When artificial intelligence finally exploded, it didn't start in a garage, it started in data centers. Training large language models required massive parallel computation, and there was only one proven solution: NVIDIA GPUs. OpenAI needed them, Google needed them, Meta needed them, startups needed them, governments needed them. Demand went vertical, waiting lists grew longer, and the world realized something unsettling. AI was not decentralized, it was concentrated. And Jensen Huang stood at the center of it all. Power always attracts attention, and NVIDIA's power became impossible to ignore. Governments stepped in with export controls, sanctions, and strategic restrictions, turning advanced GPUs into national assets. Who could buy them, and who couldn't became a political decision. Jensen Huang didn't speak like a politician, but his company now shaped global AI progress. In silence, NVIDIA had become one of the most critical choke points in modern history, not by force but by necessity. Jensen Huang never asked to rule AI. He simply built what everyone needed long before anyone understood why. He didn't chase attention, he built dependencies, and when the world finally woke up, it found itself standing on NVIDIA's foundation. Some call him a visionary, others call it a dangerous concentration of power, but history will remember one thing. The AI revolution did not rise from software, it rose from silicon, and one man understood that before anyone else: Jensen Huang, the quiet emperor of artificial intelligence.